This is AI.R. Artists in Residence Broadcasting, coming to you once a week from New York City.
Hello, I'm John Cullum, and this is Emily Frankel, and we're going to talk to you about an unknown subject.
John is actually providing the subject. I said, John, what are you in the mood to talk about? He said, I don't know. And then he said, I'd like to talk about my shirt.
Yes.
Talk about this shirt.
Okay. Well, this shirt, I just put it on because it's comfortable and warm, and I happened to look down. It has this insignia that says, Inherit the Wind. And I was in a production of Inherit the Wind. And it happened to be the last production that George C. Scott, a good friend of mine, was ever in, and also Jack Lemmon. It was one of the last things that Jack Lemmon,
What a cast.
yes, had ever done. And
Who played what?
well, George had alternated the parts. He played in this TV production. He played the part. He played the lawyer who was defending.
Is that Clarence Darrow?
Yes, and
the other man played
Jack Lemmon. And actually, it was the reverse. Jack Lemmon played Clarence Darrow, and George C. Scott played the Southern lawyer who was prosecuting him. And at the time, they both of them were pretty fragile. George was extremely fragile. They had to put a chair in between the place where the defense counsel or the prosecuting counsel sat, and the place where he had to question the witnesses, so that he didn't have to walk that whole distance. He could walk only a part of the distance and sit.
What was the matter with George? Do you know?
Well, George had a lot of things wrong with him. I don't even know whether he had a liver left, because he had drunk so much, and he had stomach problems, and he dissipated a great deal. He should have lived another 10 years, I think. Jack Lemmon was not in as bad a shape as Jack, but he was, I think, older. And they were both fabulous actors. But I worked with Delbert Mann, not Delbert Mann. The director was a director whose name escapes me at this moment. But I'd known him for years and worked with him. And I wouldn't do they would dismiss the rest of the company, including Jack and George, and I would have to do all of my lines with the director. We would be alone with the cameraman.
Wow!
And he would play the parts of George, and he would, of course, boost it up to get more energy, and would force me to play more energetically with him.
Now, you were playing what?
I was the judge.
Okay.
I played the judge in that part. And I cost him $30,000 for a very stupid thing. I was wearing this watch, which is not a cheap, but it's not a very expensive watch, and it's a very modern type. It's a digital. And I did a scene, a fairly short scene, but a very important scene that included me and another lawyer, and we talked in my office for about 10 minutes. And we did the entire scene, and then I discovered that I had been wearing this watch for that scene, and they had to reshoot the scene. It cost them about $30,000.
Wow!
Without the watch. And
so why'd they give you a shirt?
Well, to get rid of me. No, no, they just gave that as a token. We shot it.
Ends of shows, Broadway shows, and movies. Everybody gives each other gifts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this is a gift that definitely was a lovely gift.
Yeah. And I guess there's a story behind any of those things. I don't particularly care for all these, what do you call them, decals or the signs on them?
No, having a sign on you is not fun. But the fact is, this has good memories.
Yeah.
Jack Lemmon was a wonderful actor.
Yeah.
And so was George.
Yeah. And both of them totally different types of temperaments. George was very volatile. You didn't know what he was going to do off stage. He was wonderful on stage always. And Jack was very, very even-tempered, congenial, and he liked everybody. And he would eat with the entire company every day. So
This is a nice story of a nice shirt.
okay,
Thank you, John Cullum.
you're welcome, Emily.
We'll see you next week.
So long.
This is AI.R. See you next week.